All right, we're going to add a few things in this video to our map. We're going to add a label for New York State. We're going to add a little dot for Dome Island on the state, a little label. We're going to add some data source text down here and a couple logos. First things first, let's add the point for Dome Island. So we're just going to zoom in. You can just use your scroll button here to zoom in on the map. This won't change the layout of your map or anything. We can see Dome Island right in the middle there. And I'm going to select these drawing tools. I'm going to add an ellipse, which is essentially like a little circle. So I can draw a little circle here. And when I zoom out after I've drawn that circle, I see, oh my gosh, I can barely see that thing. So I need to click on Style here. And the way I'm going to trick QGIS into seeing this is I'm going to dramatically increase the stroke width, the width of the border on this guy, until it's something that I can actually kind of see on the map. So I can kind of see that now, right? I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to come back in, and I'm just going to change it to sort of like a darkish red color, something that maybe catches the eye a little bit on the map here. Great, so I've got that there. Let's add some text here. One thing I like to do when adding text, so I don't have to go back in and modify the font size and color and everything. I've already added some text on the map. I can just copy it. So I'm just going to highlight this really big tree text box here, and I can right-click and click copy. I can right-click and paste. Or I can use Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste. I'm going to come down here, align it right about where I want it. And instead of really big tree, I'm going to do dome. And I'm going to do island on the second line. So press the Enter bar. What happened here? Why is my text cut off? Looks like maybe I just need to resize this box here. And I'll place Dome Island sort of right next to that point there. That looks pretty good. I like that white text and the black sort of makes that pop. All right, let's do that one more time. Let's paste that really big tree thing, and let's drag it down right into the middle of New York State. And I'm going to call this New York State. And you see when I'm doing this, the text of my little text box is showing up in my items here. So I can always know which piece here is which, and I can modify it accordingly. Now, one thing that we see here is that this is white text on white. So I think I'd like to come in and mess around with my font color. I'm going to change that to black, this other side of the triangle. I'd also like to change my font around a little bit. I want that to be bold, maybe size 12. Oh goodness, what happened? There we go, I just had to make it a little bigger. So now we've got New York State down there. Maybe I don't even need the bold. Maybe that's a little too much. Let's try italic. There we go, I think that looks pretty good. We've got New York State labeled down here now. Let's do this one more time. We're gonna copy this text. I'm gonna bring it down to the bottom here. And it's always a good thing to do is to tell people where you got your data from. So this data came from New York State GIS department. I'm going to put a little square break here, and then I'm going to say it also came from Skidmore ESS. And let's make that a little bit longer here until it all fits on the frame. And I'm going to make that sort of italic and maybe even a little smaller, just sort of out of the way, just so if anyone's looking at this map wants to know how to recreate this information, they could do that down there. So I've got that data source text down at the bottom now. Last thing, I think I'd like to add a couple logos onto this map. And those logos will really just be for Skidmore ESS and for Nature Conservancy, which is the organization that manages this land. I think it'd be nice to attribute them here. So to do that, I'm going to use this Add a New Picture to the Layout button here. So I'm going to just draw a box that I think should be about the right size, maybe in this upper right corner here. And in the properties, I need to tell it where that picture is. Now, part of that zip file that you all downloaded included an ESS and a New York State logo. So I'm going to click on that ESS logo. I'm going to click open. Maybe I'll make it a little smaller, put it up into the corner there. Cool. Let's do that one more time. One more logo. I'm going to click on these little 3 dots over here, and I'll use my New York State logo. Click open. So I've got environmental studies and sciences and New York State GIS, where we got our data from, the 2 organizations where we got our data. So that looks pretty cool. We've got our logos, we've got a nice looking legend, our Dome Island map, our data source. I feel like we're probably pretty close to this map being done. There's obviously a lot more that can be done here. I'll take a break here and in the next video talk a little bit about organizing some of our items in this map and about snapping to guides. All right, see you soon. Don't forget to save.